is Mary Abiodun, a business lead, striking CV. Mary Abiodun is a co-founder and chief operating officer at Calibri Africa, where young Africans are connected with opportunities to become virtual assistants. She is also the business lead at Striking CVs, helping graduates and young professionals to rightly position themselves to access greater job opportunities. Mary Abiodun is also the founder and principal consultant at Mary King Consulting Services, a business and educational consulting firm. Mary has her master's degree in mathematics and education from the University of Lagos, where she also bagged her first degree in the same course. She has been a mentor and trainer at different technology programs and training for kids, youth, and women. Thank you. Welcome to today's discussion. And the able man among us is Odutola Adeyemi, a communications officer with Women's Technology Empowerment Center. He has a vast knowledge of training girls and women in the educational sector, especially using technology. He is ably represented. Okay, he is representing our third speaker, Adeyemi Samuel. So thank you and welcome once again. So, straight to our discussion. When we talk about country poverty with tech, women and identity, I would like to ask you your opinion about what could be the cause why women have lagged behind in the participation in tech space generally. What do you think might be the cause why women have lagged behind in this area?
So I go first? Okay. I don't think women are lagging behind. Oh my God, that's a controversial. I think we didn't start on the level playing field. So when people are in a race, and some people have gone further and the people are behind, it's not that they're lagging behind, it's just some people started first and we're playing catch up. You know? So, yeah. If you look at the technology landscape, let's look at Nigeria, it has changed a lot. What we had 10 years ago is different from what we have today, and it's different from what we're going to have in 10 years' time. Yeah? And that's because, okay, so why are we playing catch up? Let me answer that question. It's because of, there are so many reasons. Barriers, you know. The unconscious bias and stereotypes that say that this is a woman's thing and this is a man's thing. You know, that's one of the things. The way we are educated, the way we are socialized, you know. All of these things are things that have caused women to not start at the same time as men started, so they've gone further ahead. You know, the way tech is looked at is a man thing, so the language used, the way it's branded, you know, it's branded to the women in the kitchen and as opposed to the living room or whatever else we are. You know, so this is a man's job, and you know, people forget that competence is not to do with physical ability. Yeah, it's to do with your passion, it's to do with your education, what we can do. So technology as well, as it is gender neutral. It doesn't know that it's knowledge-based work. It doesn't know that you're a man or a woman. But we've been socialized to say that this is a man's thing. So either the woman is not physically capable of doing it, or she doesn't have the competence to do it because they feel this way.
Thank you very much. Yes, I believe that socialization, our culture, our society have played a very vital role in this. So I would like to hear from Mary. What's your view about this?
Okay, so I think there was a time I did this session is to really find out like the issue. What was it like for women in tech? Like, was it that it has always been like this, having women at the back, where men were really at the forefront of tech? But during the research, I found that it was never like this. Women were actually the ones at the forefront of technology. Exactly, like it's so surprising to now see that all of that has changed over time. We who were the people who were at the forefront of things have now like been relegated to the back. And like she said, very true, stereotypes and culture and many other things have come to play over time, and that has really affected the way women see tech and the way they contribute or the way they actively participate in tech. So I really think that we could do much more to really find ourselves at that forefront once again. I remember when I was in primary school and we used to do computer science, Ada Lovelace was one of the key women I looked up to because I think she was the first female programmer. And for someone like Ada Lovelace to be like one of those first women who actually were in tech at that time, I'm like, why don't we have more people like Ada Lovelace? And there are other women who just like her as well at that time who were doing great things in tech. But before you know it, generations after generations, we just keep finding women, you know, going back and back in tech, and the men are now at the forefront. So stereotypes, culture, and many other things. Poverty as well. Like today we are talking about conquering poverty with tech. I think there is a whole lot of things to be done when it comes to poverty, conquering it with tech. And if you find like, yes, we have half of the population being women, but we also have more of them being poorer. So if there is so much we can do to help them, empower them, and give them the tools they need to really try their best, I think we can reach that level.
Thank you very much. I love the point. Having 50% of women in Africa and 70% of them living below poverty is a lot. We need to put all hands on them to find things. I would like to hear from Adeyemi before we move to the next round.
Okay, communication aspect, starting from the cradle. For the girls, you have a baby girl, congratulations. You buy her a toy, you give her a dog. Your boy, you give him a car. You give him a gun. Things operational. They go into school in the primary section to secondary school. We subconsciously position technology as men. The figures they read they see in the books is more of men. At the computers, men fixing things, the people driving the caterpillars. So subconsciously you have started to position this thing as male. So the ladies too grow up that and so even our messaging, like for example, a girl who is into technology is called a geek. She's supposed to be tomboyish, looking like a boy. Most of the girls who still studying technology too, they are positioned as girls unto lady, as boys, they are the boyish looking. So it's subconsciously in the school system, we are not very cautious about how to drive this thing of making sure that it's more gender balanced. Many of the books, like during my research, I noticed that in Vietnam from 2010, they made sure that their education figures are gender balanced, whereby anything is both male and female. Even nurses, doctors, they make sure that you have both a male and a male and female figure standing. So that's where you make sure that you get the girls to know from the beginning that look, it's for both of us. So I still believe that like in Nigeria, there were at least in many places where you still have old books that were still drawn up mostly by men. We still have to make sure that we start to balance up things with new messaging so that we can have them.
Thank you very much. We need to start consciously making efforts to drive the interest of the female child in tech and tech in general. Thank you very much. In 2020, we got struck by the COVID-19, and this has changed a lot of things. The way we work, the way we think, it has affected the society in general. So what do you think the role of COVID-19 has played in helping or maybe positively affected women positively or negatively? And what's your view? I would like to hear your view on this. How has it changed the narrative? I'd like to hear from you first, in just 2 minutes.
So I'll say it's both positive and negative anyway, but I would like to focus on positive first. Yes, it has really changed the way we work because remote work applies, but even with that, it has provided more opportunities for women. I know sometimes women are trying to balance their own funds and also work, but with COVID, they can be at home, shorten the time they will have spent on something so that they can have more time for their families and still be able to do some work that they can do. Though sometimes it can be stressful, but there's a way to balance it. So I have someone who, recently we did a session at the University of Pennsylvania, and we have one of the lecturers there who just gave that she's a woman, she's a mother. Yes, there is COVID. Our students have to be virtual because they can't come to the physical school to take their lessons. So she's able to plan herself with COVID. Now there are tools you can use to manage yourself, the calendars, a lot of tools that you can just use to manage your time. It's way faster. And because of COVID, a lot of people are innovating around COVID so that people can manage themselves better, live their lives better. And so I think COVID really helps to, fast track. A lot of women started learning new skills during COVID. A lot of women started getting into tech, trying to understand what can this be. A lot of women started to take opportunities in places like Upwork and Fiverr and freelancing, learning the skills that they need to try in that space so that they can just work from home and still be able to earn something for themselves. So overall, I think COVID has played a very good role. So I'm focusing on the positives for now. So that's what I have to say.
So my perspective is from two different angles. From the perspective of women that have businesses that need to run their businesses, kind of like using some reason. So, and then also people that are IT practitioners that went to So from, like in my business, for example, what we saw during the COVID times, a lot of women-owned businesses were not IT enabled. They didn't use technology to run their business. So one of the things that we did for all along is open people's eyes to the need for technology. So people that did not see the need for it, now they know, my gosh, I need to use tech, and other things. So a lot of women-owned businesses we saw a lot of people coming in like, oh, I need an e-commerce website. Oh, how can I do this? My staff cannot work. What tools do we use? So a lot of them were not IT enabled. That's what we saw from our data. And they saw the need, and a lot of them were scrambling at the end to get IT and whatever kind of IT they wanted. Now, then on the other side of it, people were acquiring skills. Now, people were learning all different, we were training people on digital marketing, digital this, anytime we're doing all of that. And she mentioned a lot of that. So there are a lot of people that now can manage their work-life balance, so they are home with the kids. Even for some people that's a distraction, so there are two edges to that. And then a lot of people started acquiring these skills. I had so many people that were just learning everything to God and man, because they had that time to go and acquire all of this. So it wasn't, there were good things, there were bad things, but it opened people's eyes to the need for technology. It opened people's eyes to see that people can actually work from home, flexible working. That benefits a lot of women, So, yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have the disadvantage, we have the advantage. And I think the advantage outweighs the disadvantage. That is, it has helped positively more than it has impacted negatively. From the aspect of, we have spoken about women using learning new skills about technology, how they can help their businesses, their work. I know that when COVID started, and a lot of people just stand back like, how can I move on? What do I need to do? So it takes a lot of thinking, people thinking of new ideas. And when we look at the who are not educated, who don't know about the skills, who don't even know about technology at home. What do you think this situation, the COVID situation has, how do you think it has affected them? And what do you think can be done to help these people in this?
Okay, from education back again, they said that COVID-19 is a leveler. It leveled everybody. So you had to fit in or break. A lot of people selling in the market, for instance, they had to possibly go and learn how to use transfer using their phones. Since a lot of our people have phones, they had to learn how to transfer. So that's when they've gotten the education and the skills on how to use it. So it created a leveling situation where even with the rich and the poor, those who were so scared to go out, they transferred to this market women. So a lot of them actually were empowered, and we have a more educated population, even in the markets where you see some of them saying, no, just do transfer, that money is too much, send to me. So a lot of people have actually gained some education in that aspect. Even when they are transferring to the banks, when the banks are closed, you have to learn how to do it. They have to ask their young ones. All of us who are these younger and we have older ones, we all have to train our older ones how to use technology. So education-wise, even on the community scale has improved. I taught my mom how to use Twitter and Instagram, and today she's really big on Twitter. She will ask me, what is this? Please, what is the meaning of Olosho? And we hear things like this. So you see, it's so interesting that even our older ones too have been well educated with COVID that has brightened the environment. Quickly, I would like to bring in one from schools too. It has leveled everyone in the sense that everyone has to learn virtually at home. So even both boys and girls are all forced to learn with their computers. So that way, we now have in general education everywhere, not that you have some in science or arts and others. So I think COVID has actually leveled everything, and it's now left for us to maintain that level.
So I would like to hear your own opinion.
I don't think everybody will let go. I think we have a huge population there's a digital gap, digital divide, and there are so many people. If I look at where I live, our drivers' children, for example, during the COVID, they could not learn. They did not have access to the internet. People that have, but they didn't have. And they couldn't learn. And I remember all the time saying to them, you know what you guys do? They will be telling me stories. I think Lagos State government did something with television. I don't really know. And and even that's how many people. So we have, in my opinion, about even 70% of the women are poor, but I think 70% of the population in Nigeria are.
I had a situation as well when the COVID struck, and people were serving with girls from the public secondary school, and we had to start an online class. We reached out to them. Either they say, okay, I don't have a phone, my mom has, my dad has, or my sister has. Okay, I'm trying to use hers. At some point, my mom is not around, there's no how I can join. At some point, you're like, oh, I don't have money for data. So you have a lot of things like that. You have challenges, and it was almost impossible to have the online class. Yes, we have reached a lot of problems, a lot of courses. And I would like to ask in three dimensions. First one is from the government and the policies from institutions. What do you think can be done in this aspect to help solve this problem? This question is to you.
Government,
we have institutions, we have society as a whole, but in the cultural aspects and policies. So if I were to be precise, what do you think can be done to solve these problems?
The gender divide.
Yes.
The government can help by having relevant policies that will promote women education, areas that. And just remembering what happened in NAS the other day, so I don't know if I have the confidence that it will happen, you know, what the government can do. I just did something with meet that they're asking me what can they do, and you know, the evidence are still mentioning the same thing. So I don't know, but the government needs to be more proactive. I think when it comes to gender matters, the government is lagging behind. Now, that's where I will use that word. They don't actually do what they should do, you know, so yes, they need to come up with enabling policies. The women affairs ministries, maybe they need to step up as well, you know, and do something to help us. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, thank you very much.
So I'll be speaking from the angle of, not government, but if we could have like private partnerships, individual partnerships as well, because I know we saw a lot of that when we COVID, where people were coming up to support other people, like people were providing laptops for women, there are organizations who were trying to provide data for people to learn, you know, just trying to come up with these private partnerships, individual partnerships, people coming together, and even women also supporting other women, like the women who are already in tech and who are like out of the way, they could come together, form partnerships and try to do things for other women below, and try to see how they could also bring them up to speed with them. And there's also the room of mentorship as well, because I think mentorship goes a very, very long way. One of the reasons why we see women who start in tech and they fall off along the lines is because there's usually no enough mentorship for someone to hold their hands up until the end. You know, sometimes they start and they start losing hope. They don't have someone to look up, so they start and at a point it seems like they are giving up. But if they have serious mentorship, someone who can just be there for them anytime they need to ask a question, anytime they need to, you know, ask for help, they can find it. I think that's going to go a long way for the women.
Okay, thank you very much. You have mentioned that the government needs to bring in policies, interventions that would help encourage women to be part of the tech world. And then you have mentioned private partnership, helping women. Yes, so we want to put hands on them. In the part of adult education has to do with the government, some institution, as well as society, because we also, even from the smallest unit of the society, that's the family, we start from there as well. So what do you think, what's your view on this, Adeyemi? Do you think education has a role to play in solving the problem?
Yes, education has a lot to play in the sense that we have to be very deliberate to make sure we bring in a lot of females along with it. And it's multidimensional. We have the issue of the stereotypes, which goes across the board. We also have the issue of the privileged and those who are not privileged. The government has to be deliberate to make sure that we have reached, like was mentioned, for instance, in public schools, the government has to make sure that the facilities are well served, the internet access has to be improved, and the facilities are well serviced. We have to make sure that we do the proper tracking of students as they progress from the secondary school. You see girls in science classes, you see them progressing to study in schools, but you also have to make sure you track it to make sure that, okay, from JAM level, how many are actually applying. We track even mentoring in schools to make sure that those in universities, we monitor how many of them, and they are also mentored all the way into the career level. So it's a deliberate systematically that has to follow with time to make sure that it's not only from schools, you have to also encourage them that what you study, you should also try and pursue careers, because we need the contribution of women in participation in the fields, because when you have just males ending up in major areas of, for example, app creation, where you even have some apps created to even identify those men, and so we need a lot of tracking to make sure that they move all the way up to the career level. So this is when we come to policy, where the government has to make sure that this whole data system is monitored and watched, so that we move everything all together equally.
Thank you very much.
I think women themselves need to step up. Women need to take responsibility for their growth and their development. They need to be intentional about it, deliberate, purposeful about it. So whilst the government can make policies and all of those things, whilst we can do EBP, whilst the education system can whether that can help them, they need in their careers, they need to be speaking up, they need to be pushing themselves forward, putting themselves out there, putting themselves forward. They need to be reading the books, acquiring the knowledge. They need to be intentional about getting on boards and things like that, So it's not just for everybody to do, but the women too, they need to step up and be willing to go out there and content.
Thank you very much. As a child, as you grow up, encourage yourself. You have to push and be pushed as well. Yes, we need to break the barriers. Yes. I just have a question for you, Mary. Discussing about how women as well, how they can get into this tech field. In the business aspect, again, what steps do you think women need to do when we look at causes problems like not having the right tools, not getting the right information, technology tools to start? What do you think they need to do? How do you think they can get these tools? Or how do you think, what steps do you think we can take to break this barrier?
Okay, so when it comes to business, the first thing is vision, because having a vision determines every other thing that falls into place. So what's the solution, what's the problem you've identified, and what's the possible solution that you think would be best to solve that problem? After you have that, then you need to go out of your way to now sort of look at what are the available tools for me to be able to get this. Available tools doesn't just mean maybe a technological tool, it could be human capital. It could be people you could reach out to, it could be education you need to get. Sometimes you don't have enough education to probably push that business. So you need to be able to ask yourself, where can I go to learn more about this? Or who are the people I can bring on board to probably help me with this? Even if I don't have the skills, who are the people I can bring in to actually help me? Because sometimes business is not just a one-person thing. Entrepreneurship could be bad, it could be tough if it's just you. Then you need, not really a board. Sometimes if you're just starting, you might not really have a board. But you also need a network of people that could be there for you. You could always reach out to them if you need advice. You need advisors on your team. You need the people that will direct you and say, okay, you could do it this way, you could do it this way. And even people who keep on pushing you, just like, telling you need to step up, because you're going to get to a point where you feel like, you'll say, I'm never sure if this problem is even worth all the stress at the end of the day. But if you keep your vision in check, and if you keep doing everything you can to still work on it, it's going to make sense. Then concerning the tools that you need to use to probably manage your business, from the point of getting an education, you will start learning already the kind of things, the kind of tools that you could use for your business. In terms of using the technological aspect of it, there are certain tools now that help business people to actually get on ground without actually having probably a full technical person on their team. They call them like no-code tools. So with no-code tools, for example, Wix is an example of a no-code tool because you don't have to code the back end. You can just go there, drag and drop. We have Canva as well, drag and drop to manage your social media. So simple things like this, drag and drop, you really don't have to have so much people on your team. There are little things that can easily be done on. So just do enough research. As a business person, you should be a researcher. You need to keep researching the things that are available. Things go extinct. A lot of knowledge get outdated. You need to keep updating yourself to know what are the things that are out there that can help your business. So that's just how it works.
Thank you very much. Getting the right person to give you advice like a mentor, stepping up yourself, getting the right resources and tools to use for your business. I think I'm summing up what you said already. So, you have mentioned the things business women need to put together. Once they put this together, you said the government should put policies to I don't know if you have a kind of example of policies that can put together to help such business women, as well as women who are studying the same course. What do you think can be put together to help such people to bring this in more women?
This one is controversial. Yeah. I was going to say affirmative action. Have you heard of that? We can have a policy where companies are encouraged to, you know what I mean, prioritize women in tech when they come in those areas where they are short. Yeah. You know, like, so there can be something like, for government, let me say government can have a policy where government agencies prioritize hiring women, you know, into certain positions. Not saying we should discriminate against men, but when the applications come out and you see this is female, then you can fast track it, you know, give it some more thing. And even if there are shortfalls, then you can boost them, make them go. So you can have that kind of policy, you know, just to close the gap a little bit. So that is one. And even when it comes to like JAM, I know that JAM has, I may be wrong because it's a long time ago, for different states they have different cut-off marks. So they can have different cut-off marks for women. What do you think? You know? So that's, yes. And it encourages, you know, if you want a man to score 400 because they have bigger brains, then maybe you can lower it for women. I'm joking. When I say bigger brains, I mean I'm joking. I don't mean that.
I would like to show the anticipation. I was even watching Twitter, I was following the LinkedIn feed, and it didn't even trend. Davido's Odutola was trending. I didn't see the anger. It's probably the Minister of Women Affairs and some others. I think we need a stronger movement of women. We need stronger female figures, like people like Titi and Sonkuti. We have people to make sure that they tackle these things and bring it to bring women up to harm against such things so that it's checked. Because if you know in your constituency women really vote for them, I don't think you'll try, because they are not doing anything, and for people to easily vote against such, it means that they know that probably nothing will happen. So I think we need a movement.
I was going to say, that's why representation matters. That's why the way we are socialized, the way we are educated matters. A lot of people, I didn't do anything, but I heard that I was angry in my bedroom, you know. But yes, so we need to step up, like I say, we need to go out and really start making our voices heard. But the way we are socialized really matters, where a lot of women are like subservient and they don't push themselves forward because your husband might shout at you when you're part of it. And I'm laughing about it, but it's true. So a lot of people that I mean don't actually, because of we're a patriarchal society, let's not see it's about there's misogyny everywhere. A lot of decisions are made in places where women are not represented, you know. So women have to, yes, people are coming up and people still come up, but we need to do more. So I even acknowledge that more women need to go out and just really voice their opinions and their displeasure, just keep shouting and angry until we can't lose hope. Because, yeah.
In the public spaces, because it will help with our policies, and it will help in a lot of ways to help tackle this problem, and we need to step up as early as possible. So, to wrap up the discussion, what's your last tip before we take questions from the audience? What would you like to tell us about this discussion? I'll start with you, Mary. We have spoken about women participation in the tech field, talking about business, talking about COVID-19 generally, and also policies, businesses, and education. What's your take? What would you give as a last message for this conversation?
Okay, so my last section fall back to what the topic of discussion is for today, which is conquering poverty in tech. I'll say I think women need to put more value on themselves, because starting from there is going to change a lot of things. It's going to change the way we price ourselves, it's going to change the way we look at ourselves, it's going to change the kind of opportunities we even take. It's going to change our mindset of actually looking down on ourselves for some things, job opportunities, businesses we do, even education. So I feel it all starts from the value we put on ourselves, so we should do more and put more value on ourselves.
My take, yes, people will wonder why is the man so concerned about the development of women and the growth of women. Yes, I'm really concerned, and the issue is this. When we look at countries that are doing very well today, they all have one thing, and that is a higher participation of women. If we want our country, Nigeria, for instance, to grow economically, we need to bring up people who form at least 50% of our population. We have to bring them up. If we don't, we will remain where we are. So, if you are aware of this statistic, you will be concerned. And so, in other parts of the country too, where the figures might not be as good at all, we have to make sure that our women are being brought up technologically so that they can take advantage of the opportunities technology is offering us in the next 10 years so that we can have a bigger and better country.
Thank you very much.
So technology is an enabler. Technology allows people to do things better, quicker, faster. It allows you to reach wide markets in places where you will never go. It gives you access. It gives you all of these things. And if 70% of the population, of women population that is, do not have access to these things that can take you far, open doors, help you make money, then no wonder there is poverty, So we need to do all these things we've talked about, we need governments to do their part, to put in the policies that will make women, adopt technology, start using technology to improve and make their lives better. We need the education system to change, so that from even campus, girls are exposed to technology and they know that they can do it, and they know that this thing is gender neutral. You don't have to be a man to know technology, and they can start shaping their futures from there. We need the business world, the women in business to step up, and start pushing those doors, breaking down, knocking down the barriers to know that, hey, I can use technology, I can get my voice heard out there, and I can do all these things to develop our country.
Thank you very much for the wonderful contribution this afternoon. We would like to take questions from the audience, about 5 questions. So,
hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Ommo, and mine is not so much of a question but of a contribution. I get really sensitive when we're talking about women. We make up over 50% of the Nigerian population. 75 out of that 50 are in rural areas and uneducated or undereducated. There are a lot of young girls, educated, highly educated, who trade on their nudity. And this is all over social media. It has not taken a man to remove their clothes from their body. It has taken them wanting to trend on social media to take off those clothes. Now, what does that do? Listening to the three of them there saying women should step up their game, I need for us to look at the kind of education that girls get as against the kind of education that men get. The kind of education that girls get in the rural area is only good enough to make them wives and mothers. The next thing it does for them is enable them trade. The young people around today who build apps, how many of them have considered raising an app that can help women in these small communities do their small fishing and farming and trading or whatever other kind of exchange? Nearly no one. And you know why? Because all of us as women are busy trying to be men instead of being women and being strong women. You don't beat anybody in their own game by trying to be them. You beat them by being peculiar to you. So all I'm trying to say is charge every young girl here to know that one, you do not need anyone to lower the scores of JAM for you to go to the university and pass the university. You can come up with your first class without sleeping with any lecturer. God has made you that strong and that good. And just in case you're confused about it, ask yourself how you are able to carry another human being inside of you for 9 months and bring it out. You are stronger than JAM lowering the score. You are stronger than NAS telling you that you are approved or disapproved. NAS is learning game. When we are ready for them, they know. They will know that we are ready. 3, and finally, is this. This is a forum for young people. I want to believe. And the reason I say young people is because they're the ones who know how to use social media a whole lot. Please, use your phones. Whether they are cheap or expensive is not as important as what you can do with them. Use those phones now and put it out. Let women know that you are here, and let them know that you are strong enough to help them change their businesses, and let them know that for as long as they are quiet, nothing will change. We're all being quiet. We're all being selective about the things that we see. She's sitting down there and saying, I cannot identify the mentor. Why is she sitting down there and looking for a mentor? She has a mentor at home. Her first mentor is her mother. Why are the young girls not identifying the mentors that are closest to them before going out to look for mentors? There are mentors all over. There are registered mentors. There are mentors who are just mentors by nature and they just want to help young people. So please, 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 I beg you, this is a beautiful platform to use to reach more young girls. You don't even want to know what's going on behind when people say they're giving young girls sanitary towels. I mean, like, how else do you insult a woman than telling her that the good you're doing to her is giving her sanitary towels, right? But that's what Nigeria has reduced herself to, where Nigeria says what we have given to girls to empower them is sanitary towels alone. And then what you have done for young girls in school that you think that you have done for them is that you want them to learn at a different hour from men. No. Let's meet in class. Let me score 98 and watch you score 89. That's simple. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. That's noted. So we'll take the next question.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ida. So thank you very much, Mrs. Ida. My question would have been to Mrs. Clark, right? I was going to ask that, why did you think that it was right for them to reduce, like make ladies girls feel that they don't have to pick a couple
Okay, I said that might be controversial. I said affirmative action. Do things to encourage girls to get it. I was the best in my class when I studied. Nobody reduced anything for me. So we'll put that on there, So I'm not saying they should do that. I'm just throwing out a suggestion. And I did say, this might be controversial. Affirmative action. Let's do things to support women to come up, since we are not that many. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. So I think in addition to that, we should, when we're trying to put out words, we're trying to give people and women about, okay, what we think is right. We're trying to speak what we want. We shouldn't give them reasons to hold on to, giving them the chance to limit us. So I feel like that sentence is kind of limiting to the girl child, like in terms of, oh, that means they're not brilliant enough to pass jam. No, so we should always try to clarify our points. So my next question would have been to Mr. Sama, if I'm right.
Sorry, I'm
Mr. Adeyemi. Thank you so much. So as a teacher, you're in school, right? How are we preparing the girl child? We know that a lot of girl child don't even have the opportunity to be educated. We're still fighting for this, the girl child. But the problem I have is we expect mothers to work like we expect mothers to act like they are not caregivers, that they're not meant to be mothers, but we expect mothers to act like they are meant to be leaders in the world. We can't do two things at a time. One has to suffer for one. So being the foundation of this as a mother, we put our children to schools. I mean, that's why mothers are working at their fathers to send their children to school. So you helping us as teachers and caregivers, impacting the knowledge, how is making it different? How are you helping the society? How are you helping the social level? What are the efforts in schools? Are you teaching boys the importance of women? How they shouldn't undermine? What is the plan that you have for the girl child? I mean, let's start from the grassroots. How are we building these girls? We shouldn't just limit it to the women themselves. Like, women have gotten to the stage. We're trying to fix what is happening with the women. Let's use the women. But let's not forget that girls become women. How are we fixing the girls? Your platform, what is it doing to help the girls? How are we getting this message out there? Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe I should go first. The Women's Technology Empowerment Center, like I mentioned earlier, is a non-governmental organization, and we empower, nurture the female and then the women and girls. So we have different programs, and most of our programs, I would say 80% of our programs are for the young girls. We have different platforms. Not to waste much of our time, I'm just going to mention a few, and you can visit us on W.TEC.org.ng. You can learn more about what we do. So we touch them young. We have programs for young girls between the ages of 11 to 17 in secondary schools. We have for younger girls even between the age of 5 to 10. And from 17, moving up, know that they're in the university. We have a mentoring program for them as well. Aside the after school club, we have a shipwright camp that we run every year. So we have different, and when we train the students or girls, we do a follow-up on them. So we have a lot of success stories. We have ripple effects of this with evidence. We have some of them who are presently working with us at W.TEC, and we have people doing great things. So we are not only concentrating on the women, we are concentrating more on the girls as well. Thank you.
I would just like to respond to your question very quickly because we're running out of time. Yes, I come from the CSO and I can at least guarantee you that even the United Nations has identified this as an issue. We even have SDGs, even SDG 4 tackles the issue and has identified it. And there are programs by so many organizations globally that are tackling this issue. And even our government has also identified it. They might not be doing so well, but it's been tackled. So I believe that in the next 10 years, people in many schools, they will tell us, oh, it's only girls, what about the boys? So it's a clear indication that, yes, there are programs in place that are tackling this issue. And then I quickly want to respond to Madam. It's really nice to meet you, Madam. Yes, I like to put both the you have the mainstream women and the women on the other side. And like she said, the women on the other side are not making enough noise against the women who are making the others look very bad. So I think that women have to really start to face each other and say, look, this thing is not good enough. Yeah, the men you are raising to, you have to make sure that, look, don't follow the ratchet. So you have to make sure they know. Sorry for that word, but please, I think that women have to also be corrected that this way of things is not. The other has to speak up more. I think so.
Sorry, thank you very much. So, poverty is a high monster. Now, we talk a lot about training our people, but we can make it a platform that we can have a talent pool of females bringing forth solutions like what they do to handle that. Because solutions are gender neutral. Money is gender neutral. All people need a solution. So if we can get more females who are doing awesome work to be seen, not just from the angle of training. That's so many training programs, but there are some doing amazing work that people don't even see. Is there a platform to showcase this kind of talent so that people can either hire them as workforce people or entrepreneurs? No, we don't really see that. We only see training girls, training girls. What are they doing so we can have this pool recognized and celebrated?
I do stuff, young man, I build stuff. I build technology platforms. So if you check out handy-jazz.com, I built that. It's a platform for people to find artisans, handymen, technicians around them to come and do work in their house. Solves the problem for finding these people, helps people that in the informal sector also get work, and that was built by me. You can check it out. I'm building Let's Share for people to find spare bedrooms to rent in a house or a flat share. I've built numerous applications for hospitals, all different kind of medical services, education institutions, back from university and all that. That's education.
What we're doing in Colombia, Africa is to help African youth, young people who have digital skills and tech skills. We try to deploy them to companies and businesses who need those digital skills so that they can earn from it, and that way we can try to conquer poverty.
Yes, I would like to just quickly add that there are a lot of groups at W.TEC, at W.TEC do that, women's technology and knowledge center. We use a lot of hashtags, check sites like Africa, and
I appreciate your presence.
Should I end on hold? Should I share it? Should I pause? Okay. End.
Okay.